Hello and welcome to Tarot Thursday. I am your host, Reverend Mary Hawk, and with me is Reverend Alyssa Maxon High Corel, First Priestess of the Corellian tradition. And welcome, Reverend Alyssa. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me, Mary.
Oh, I'm delighted to have you with me. And along with tarot, Reverend Alyssa is also going to do bibliomancy.
Yay.
So, do you want to explain how bibliomancy works for us, please?
Sure. So, bibliomancy is the practice of using books for divination. Um, this is my bibliomancy book. I tend to use this. It is a Webster's 21st Century Book of Quotations. And um, uh, the way this book is consecrated for divination, that's the only thing that it is used for. Um, I keep it on a charging plate by my desk, and I give it offerings regularly, incense, smoke, um, crystals, things like that. Um, but the way it works for me is that I take questions um, and ask the book the question. The book reveals the page, and the questioner will usually pick a number, and that is the number quote that we use on the page that is chosen.
Okay, so if you wouldn't mind, let's do a general bibliomancy reading for me to demonstrate.
Okay. Sacred Book of Bibliomancy. I ask you, what does Mary need to know for the week going forward? All right, Mary, I need a number between 1 and 15.
7.
All right. Education is the ability to listen to almost anything without losing your temper or self-confidence.
Oh
So,
boy.
knowing what you do for Muggle work, I'm I'm going to relate that to your daily job and your ability um, to self-confidently solve problems without losing your temper. And that might be tested this week a little bit, but you have the training and the education to overcome that.
It's already been tested. I guess it's gonna get worse.
And it's also, I like this part of where it says the ability to listen to almost anything without losing your temper or self confidence. I also have to relate that to our current climate going on, and all of the ridiculous sounding things that are, are happening in the world today. Um, and yeah, it takes some smarts and some strength to get through that without losing your temper.
And hello to Felicia, Amanda, and Steve. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, everybody.
Felicia and Amanda have both asked for general readings. So, Felicia and Amanda, would you like Reverend Alyssa to do tarot or bibliomancy? And while we're waiting, I'm going to go ahead and do 3 cards for
Yeah.
Felicia. Okay, Felicia wants bibliomancy.
Nice. You go ahead first,
Um,
Mary.
Okay. So the first card I've got for you is the Queen of Lamps. And when the Queen of Lamps comes up, the Queen is talking about moving forward in the space you're in. So don't try and make a new space for what you're trying to accomplish. Look for a way to fit it in where you are. I have the King of Pentacles, which is talking about making plans and executing them. You have the resources to do what you want to do. And finally, I've got the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is talking about connecting with your higher self, your spirit guides, however you want to view that. So as you're moving forward with your plans, be sure you are consulting with the divine. Okay.
Love that.
And Steve says he loves my hat. Thank you.
It is a nice hat.
Thank you.
All right. Bibliomancy reading for Felicia. So we're going to read something that Felicia needs to know for her week going forward. All right. Felicia, a number from 1 to 16, please. You do always make great fashion choices, Mary.
Why, thank you.
6. All right. So your quote from the book is, "It's no disgrace to be poor, but it might as well be." Which again, feels like the current state of things, doesn't it? It's a lot of judgments going around, a lot of things going around, and I think we just have to remember our self-worth and our light and power through all this bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Amanda wants bibliomancy. And Anissa says, Merry meet Reverend Kent. Has the weather goddess been storming?
Marry me. Yep. Bibliomancy. I've been practicing on the regular now daily, probably for about a year. And something I've been studying for quite a few years previously to that. So it's something I'm exploring doing more public readings for. It's a very cool divination method. Going to be writing down some writings on it pretty soon because it's not a divination method I see talked about a lot. So Amanda also wanted a general reading.
Yes.
All right. Asking Sacred Book of Bibliomancy to give Amanda some words for her week going forward. One to 13, please, Amanda. Really is a super intuitive form of divination. Even when you think it's not relevant, it's relevant. It's very interesting. 3. It is well that war is so terrible. We shouldn't grow too fond of it. So I would, for your week going forward, try to moderate your feelings. Know that something might be trying to draw you into a conflict that you really want no part of, and just manage your emotions accordingly. And know that it's not worth it.
And hello to Janet. So I had an escapee tonight. That card is the Princess of Cups. And the Princess of Cups, cups being about our emotions, the princess tends to hold back on expressing her emotions. So don't hold back. Go ahead, express how you feel and what you need in your current situation. Next card I have is the stars. And here we have someone meditating, and it looks like they are doing some form of spirit travel. So this card is saying you need to reach out to your higher self or your spirit guides in your current situation. Next, I have the Ace of Lamps. In this deck, lamps are the fifth suit that deal with magic and spirituality. The Ace of Lamps is all about empathy, and this is about putting yourself in the other person's shoes. How are they feeling right now? So, to move forward, seek to understand how the other people in your current situation are feeling so you can move forward successfully. And finally, I've got the 10 of Cups, the happy family card. Excuse me. So, overall, you are looking at a positive outcome in your current situation. And I hope you find that helpful. All right, we are caught up. Does anyone else want a reading?
Or have a question.
Yes. You are most welcome,
You're
Amanda.
so welcome. I hope it helps you in your week.
Mm. Okay, Janet. And do you want tarot or bibliomancy from Reverend Alyssa? Mm.
Do you always use the Tarot of Hecate, Mary?
I always use the Tarot of Hecate. Do you want to know why I use the Tarot of Hecate?
Sure.
I used the Tarot of Hecate because at one point it hid all my other tarot decks from me.
That sounds right.
Yes. So I finally did find them, but not until I had given some people readings with it before I felt comfortable doing so, since it has the fifth suit and the extra cards in the major arcana. I was working with it for my own daily tarot readings, but I was not comfortable reading with it, but I couldn't find the bag that I kept my other tarot decks in.
The
Okay,
universe says,
and
no, you will use this one.
yes, you will use me. So, yes. So, the first card I have for you is the Seven of Cups, and this indicates you have some choices to make, probably between equally interesting options, but you will have to choose something. The next card I have for you is the Hanged Man. Here we see Odin hanging on Yggdrasil for 9 days and 9 nights to gain the wisdom of the rune. And this is about being willing to make a sacrifice for knowledge. And then finally, we have the Prince of Lamps. And the Prince of Lamps is the sort of monkish guy that whips himself and fasts for 40 days till he can't walk and such. In essence, this card is saying that what you want is not really good for yourself. So it's time to think about changing course. So I'm going to pull one more card for clarification. And what I've got here is the Two of Pentacles. So this is about learning something new. Here we see a young man learning to sculpt while being watched over by a mentor. So in your current situation, are there some new skills you can pick up? Or maybe you need to learn something new altogether. So I hope that's helpful. And actually, she asked for tarot.
2 tarot readings? All right. Do yourself. I was going to say the same thing, though.
Sometimes they're different.
All right. All right. Tarot for Janet. So I'm using the Modern Witch Tarot. It's one I use the most these days. All right. So I have 5 of Pentacles inverted in the past position of the line. That's how I do readings. I do past, present, future, sort of, or they'll go in a progression. So I would read that as coming from a place of maybe some lost faith, um, some confusion going on, a lot of upside down feelings. The present, though, is the Knight of Cups. So it's a searcher, a quest, very quest heavy. I think that follows coming from a place maybe of some uncertainty and going toward the future. I have the Six of Pentacles. So Six of Pentacles is not just a place of fulfillment, but of being able to fulfill others as well. So getting eventually to a space where you've now coming from this upside down set of 5 to this whole and perfect set of 6, 2 threes, of course, magic and manifestation. Yeah, I see you coming into a place of wholeness, into a fulfillment with yourself. And I always pull one more card. Always pull an overarching card, sort of represents the journey. Yours is the Hermit. So the Hermit is a wanderer. Um, some might say it's the end of the Fool's journey. The Fool is the magician without his magic. So you've come to this place where you've reconciled magic and age and are in a fullness of yourself. So that's what I see for you in the future. You're on a seeking quest that will prevail and see you through. But overarching your journey is one of searching. And that might be a searching that takes you through your whole life, searching for various knowledge, various different things, not in a bad way, but just in a way of um, seeking for various aspects of life to fulfill. I like it. It's a journey.
Cool. Okay, and now we are going to take a break for a word from our sponsors because we love our sponsors.
Yay, sponsors.
And so, please check out the fine folks at Equinox Learning Hub. And now a word from our other sponsor.
Ready to unlock the secrets of the universe? Join me, Reverend Don Lewis, for my metaphysical and magic auctions at Gaia Thrift at whatnot.com. Discover fascinating artifacts, mystical crystals, and rare and unusual books that could change your life. Don't miss this chance to bring a little magic into your world. Reverend Don's Metaphysical and Magic Auctions, where the extraordinary can become yours.
And thank you to Reverend Don's Magical and Metaphysical Auctions. You can find those at whatnot.com. And Janet says, this month has been a bit uncertain. Thank you both. Blessed be. You are very welcome.
You're so welcome.
And does anyone else have a question for us?
I got a question I've been dying to ask the book since we talked before the show. Can Mary make the cameras work illustration? All right. 1 to 15.
8.
Eight. Excessive scruple is only hidden pride.
Can you repeat that?
Excessive scruple is only hidden pride. I'm going with yes. Yes, Mary can make the cameras work. But might be harder than you think. Or
The wrong.
easier than, or well, excessive scribble. Maybe it's gonna be easier than you think.
Okay, we got a question. My friend is visiting me for the rodeo. I don't know which shows he got tickets for. I'm concerned about air travel with so many accidents lately. So, your question is, will he be safe flying? Okay. And do you want tarot or bibliomancy from Reverend Alyssa?
Pick the book.
Oh, and you asked the wrong question. It's not if, it's how.
That's valid. We can ask again. Pick the book. All right. I'm just gonna ask the book. So Nisa's friend gonna be safe flying to visit her for the rodeo. Two, three. Number
Okay.
from 1 to 13, Anissa, when you get a chance. 1 to 13. Go ahead, Mary.
Hi, Ed, and blessings to you. Okay, Anissa, the first card I've got is the King of Pentacles, which is about making careful plans and being successful. The next card is the Ten of Wands, which is about waiting. This is you. You're waiting. Then I have the High Priestess, which is about talking to your higher self or spirit guides, which I'm going to say pray for a safe outcome. And I've got the King of Swords, which again is about careful planning. So overall, I'm going to say yes, he's safe. His He's planned the trip, and I'm also going to point out, really, there are thousands of flights every day.
Sure.
We only hear about the ones that go wrong. And for Reverend Alyssa, did you want her to do bibliomancy for you? She really wants to. So
One between 1 and 13.
pick
Pick a
a
number.
and post it. And Ed agrees. Okay, pick a number between 1 and what?
1 and 13.
And post it in the chat.
One and 13. Whenever you're ready. Number between 1 and 13. 6. 3. All right. Appeasers believe that if you keep on throwing steaks to a tiger, the tiger will turn vegetarian. The book is snarky. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. Um, so I would say that the nature of air travel is in general safe. You can depend on the nature of what something usually is. Um, and it just keeps being what it is no matter what happens around it. So I'm going with Mary. There are thousands of flights every day. I think you're good.
And Ed says, check out CorellianPublishing.com and Lady Alyssa's book. Leafy
Is it on
wrote a
there already?
children's book.
Is it up there already? Cool.
So enjoy the rodeo.
Enjoy the rodeo. So what question am I supposed to ask the book? How does Mary make the cameras work?
Yes, not if.
How does Mary make the cameras work? Above all, Vietnam was a war that asked everything of a few and nothing of most in America. So it is going to be a difficult task. It is going to require a lot of effort on the part of you and your team. Will it be successful? Mostly. in the opinion of some.
Multiple redundancies.
That's yep.
And for those watching, lustration is the most sacred ritual of the Karelian tradition.
Taking place this April, from April 25th through the 27th. We're going to be in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Registration is open. We would love for anyone, all of you, to join us. It's going to be a great time. The theme is the life and legacy of Charles Godfrey Leland. We're going to be visiting his graveside, doing some necromancy with your favorite necromancer, Reverend Phoenix. And yeah, it's going to be a good time. Lots of Corellian faith and fellowship, great rituals, initiations. Hope to see a lot of familiar faces. I know Mary's coming.
Yes. It's my job to get lots of great video footage of everything.
Yes, ma'am.
Including the lustration ritual that tends to mess up cameras.
Yes. Did you have trouble with it this year? Last year?
I got video of the whole thing.
Between your 3 cameras?
Between the 2 cameras. 3 cameras if you count the laptop. So
Usually people get battery problems trying to film illustration. That's what happens the most, I would say.
We were indoors, and so I had everything hooked up to an external. I had everything plugged into an outlet. Remember, I had 50-foot extension cords running everywhere and taped down with blue tape.
You sure did. The former stagehand in me admired your taping. Did a great job.
Now, if we're going to be outside, I'm going to have multiple battery packs.
Dun dun dun.
And I have a GoPro now, too.
That's cool. Do a lot with that.
Yeah.
Well, the pavilion it's in is a very cool pavilion, very large. It has a fireplace. I don't know if we're going to use it, but it has one.
Wonderful. I will add, if you would like to book a reading with me, you can do so at divinationtv.com, your destination for all things divination. I do private readings by phone or Zoom. So you can book one with me or Reverend Don or Reverend Brian there. And does anyone else have a question for us?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a question for the book.
Ooh. Shoot.
How much security do we need to plan for Pagan Pride Day this year?
One to 14.
4.
The place where optimism flourishes most is the lunatic asylum. Plan for the worst, hope for the best.
What?
Plan for the worst and hope for the best. That's what I get out of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna take plan for the worst. And Anissa says, I think my phone is slow. Mercury is taking an early jump into the Gatorade. All right. Does anyone else have a question for us? Okay. If we don't have any more questions, then we will go ahead and wrap up. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And I will be back next Thursday with Reverend Brian and Reverend Alyssa. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.